Hello everybody, how's your headspace? Welcome to video 6, Notice, Acknowledge and Act. This subject I recently spoke about as a guest speaker at the Security Professionals Network in Fulham. I spoke about emotional intelligence and what to do when you notice something's not right. We can adopt this speech here to our minds. When a mental health challenge arises, such as depression, anxiety, and those dark clouds that can appear out of nowhere for no reason. At this event, I told the story of 2 soldiers who were captured in Iraq by the enemy. They were shackled by their hands and feet. The commanding officer and his armed guards threw the soldiers into a secure holding room and explained that any attempt to escape through this door will prove futile. Upon my exit, this door will be locked and my armed guards will be the other side. When the sun rises in the morning, you will face certain death, as I will shoot you personally. The captured soldiers looked at each other and looked around the room. Not even a window for light. One of the soldiers noticed a sturdy-looking steel door in the corner of the room. He asked the commanding officer, "What's through that door? Where does it lead?" The commanding officer simply shrugged and said, "Nobody knows." With that, he exited and his armed guards locked the door behind him. The next morning, the captured soldiers were awoken by the sound of keys jingling. The commanding officer, accompanied by his armed guards, marched straight over to the steel door in the corner. The commanding officer states, "In answer to your question last night, what's through this door? Where does it lead?" He grabs the handle, presses it down, and the door swings open. Freedom. You noticed the door in the corner and you acknowledged it would lead somewhere, but you failed to act. This has ultimately changed the trajectory of your life. And with that, the commanding officer shot them both. After this story, I gave a demonstration to the 70 or 80 attendees whereby I took a crisp £50 note out of my wallet and I showed the audience. I held it up at arm's length and I told them, "This is a genuine £50 note. Can everyone see this?" I then asked them, who here would give me £20 cash for this £50 note? I stayed silent, and after around 20 seconds, a few people were saying, yeah, I will. I'll give you 20 quid. A few more people started checking pockets, and after around 45 seconds of the note being held up in silence, one man emerged from the crowd, gingerly. He stands next to me, still unsure. I hold out my palm, and he places a £20 note in my hand, and I place the 50 in his. I congratulate him, and the audience applaud, still confused. I then explained that everybody here present noticed the £50 note. They acknowledged what I had asked them, but only one acted. Now, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing in the same way every day and expect a different result. We must act. By acting, we dissolve the problem. We diffuse the problem. We have more chance of finding freedom, opening the door of the unknown and walking through it. When mental health crisis strikes in the form of depression, anxiety, and those dark clouds of utter despair, we must notice it, acknowledge it, that it's there, but more importantly, act. If we don't, it's like discovering an explosive device in your rucksack. It could go off at any time when you least expect it. If we act by diffusing it, it can be dissolved and can no longer hurt us. It can no longer consume us. Notice, acknowledge, and act. And don't forget to ask your nearest and dearest, how's your headspace?